Today we will be talking about some of, if not some very important history that is trying to be erased from the history of this nation, because without Black and African Americans, the nation would definitely have not been able to get a lot of wins and things of that nature, what we have had for the last 250 years of this nation being here. What sparked me doing this now is that they are trying to remove Black history from the military. And we've always been part of the military, especially how I'm going to get into this video as of right now. And this is something that holds very dear. I've been screaming it from the rooftops since even I was in middle school that Black soldiers have always been a major key component inside of a lot of the military, especially inside of the history. And someone who has family members that date back going into every major conflict since the Civil War, I am very proud to go ahead and present this video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. This is exactly how I would like to portray this, right? Starting off from the Revolutionary War, where we were about to celebrate the 4th of July. Did you know that approximately 9,000 African Americans fought for the Patriot side, while 20,000 joined the British, either because they were slaves or because the British had offered, citizenship to anyone that fought for them? So, with that being said, this is my story that I would like to go ahead and get together. It says, during the American Revolutionary War, African Americans played a significant role on both sides of the conflict. About 9,000 Black soldiers and sailors served in the Patriot cause, making them roughly 4% of the Continental Army and state militias, with around 5,000 serving in combat dedicated roles. That's 5,000 Black men that we know for a fact held a rifle and fought the British from the American side. Many of these men were free, while others were enslaved and gained freedom through military service. Black patriots participated in major battles including Lexington and Concord, Bunker Hill, and Yorktown, and served in integrated units such as the 1st Rhode Island Regiment, one of the most famous regiments that ever exist inside of our history. On the Royalist side, so the British, approximately 20,000 African Americans joined the British. They were motivated by the promise of freedom through the proclamations like De Moore's Proclamation and the Philipsburg Proclamation. These Black loyalists often escaped slavery to fight for the crown, and their service contributed in the British military efforts in the colonies. Although Black soldiers were a small percentage of the overall forces, these average service durations were longer than that of white soldiers, meaning they contributed disproportionately in terms of man hours. Despite facing restrictions on rank and discrimination, African Americans were paid equally and provided with the same quality of equipment as white soldiers. Their participation was crucial to both the military campaigns and the broader struggle for freedom and civil rights during the Revolutionary era. You can find all of this information on the U.S. National Park Service. You can find this on Wikipedia. You can find this on the World History Encyclopedia. You can find this everywhere, and these are all credible sources, right? So with that being said, this is something that I don't understand, because even with, as I just got finished reading to you, the British didn't even also fill in on most of the part their promise of being free as well. And they still used the Black soldiers to be the fighting force. So with that being said, how can we take away the history and the credit of the men that have fought and died for this country since the beginning of its inception? So I don't understand why people downplay that the United States and the British and people around the world say that we aren't a fighting force when we've been that since the beginning of the inception. What about some of the people that we don't talk about, like the women that were literally the key factors inside of both making the uniforms and getting everything prepared for the men to go out and fight every day? That includes both Black women, and that also includes even the white women that were not very much given rights at that time a lot either. There are books that are inside of our history that is trying to be removed about the men and women that have fought for this country that have been unsung, and they're doing it modern day to get rid of the history. But you cannot pluck out things out of history that didn't happen. You just simply can't. Just because you remove something doesn't mean that it didn't exist. In a country that is so divided and doesn't want to actually honor the history of the men and women that have fought for this country, including Blacks, including women of color, including people of color, and trying to get rid of that history, like if we weren't there, it wouldn't exist. We still would at the end of the day, because you can't rewrite history and think that that is the right thing to do. For the men and women that put on the uniform, and for the men and women of this nation, we need to come together and keep history preserved for what it is. No matter how gruesome that it is, no matter how you want to deny that it didn't happen, the history is there. There's literal proof inside of our own national records of things like this happening. And we should honor and respect every man that has laid their life on the line, and not forget that this was an overall cause for how we as a nation came together. So I want people to remember that when 4th of July comes. Other than that, this is the first episode that I'll be doing of me doing my little armchair historian little work. I'm your boy, Sir J. Please hype up the video, like the video, comment, share, follow me on all of my platforms. They're all inside of my link tree. They're all inside of my social medias. I have other things that will be coming in very, very soon, but this is a thing that I would love to keep talking about, and especially want to hear inside the comment sections. Oh, and also, if you get inside my comment section on that bullshit, I'm telling you this right now, you will definitely be getting your comment deleted, and you will be getting blocked. I'm telling you that right now. I don't have time to read your negativity. If it's nothing that's educational or positive, I do not want to hear it. Other than that, thank you guys. Bye.